Oh, we're starting. Like I just kind of pressed the start button. I didn't know what I was gonna do. Uh, Welcome back, everyone, to the Everything in 30 podcast. I am your host, Thomas Sykes. I am, of course, with my best friend.
My
My
best
best
friend
friend.
Joshua Duran.
Good job, Josh. Wow. And welcome back. Well, it's a very long wait, but everyone. Welcome back to the Everything in 30 podcast. The podcast that's on a lot of things. Actually, we're on Amazon Music. That's newly added. We're on Amazon Music, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, and basically the big podcasting platforms. So that's cool. Was it welcome everyone back? And Josh, do we have a lot of things that went on this listen, these
I
past
mean,
two
I mean,
weeks?
we missed what 2 weeks, so I think we do have a lot of
Oh
things
my
to talk
god.
about.
We missed what is it? First things first, let's get out. We'll talk about some things that aren't as big in the news. We'll get to the virus and all that other stuff later. But this episode is going to be an hour long. It's going to be an hour long, maybe a little over. We don't know, but it's going to be an hour long to make up for the past 2 weeks. And we'll have another episode coming out on Wednesday. So
Yep.
So first things first, Josh, I want to hear your opinion. So, if you don't know already, Super Smash Brothers has announced their newest fighter coming to their Fighter Pass 2. It is spoilers, Steve from Minecraft. So
Steve from Minecraft, yeah.
yeah. So Josh, how do you feel that about Steve from Minecraft making it into Smash?
Listen, I mean, it's very interesting. What would he even do? Build blocks and crap?
What is it? Sakurai, the game director, he did a review. He did like a little thing like showing off like how the character works. Basically, like you're given like when you start up the match, you're given like a bunch of like you can like what is it? You have a pickaxe, a sword, an axe, a shovel. You can like basically mine down. You can mine on the stage and get like iron, diamonds, gold, and other blocks. And basically, you could upgrade your weapons from like what is it, wood. You can get like an iron sword, an iron tools, diamond tools, gold tools, stone tools. You can use those to fight. You can also you can also build with the blocks. What else can you do? You can also get redstone, and you can run a minecart and also explode TNT. You can what is it? You can use the Elytra wings as a recovery. You can also I think there's one more thing. Um, let's you can use flint and steel, light people on fire. You can throw buckets of lava at people. You can place a magma cube above you to set people on fire. So yeah, he's got a lot of stuff.
Yeah, it looks interesting, but I mean, listen, I got Nintendo Switch probably about a year and a half ago during Christmas. I played it for a couple months. I played Smash Bros. I beat Thomas in it. Nothing special. Then then I let my brother use it. I just gave it to him. I've been playing a lot of PlayStation recently. I think this is really interesting though. If I did have a Switch and like I was playing Minecraft on not Minecraft, Super Smash Bros. I would definitely try them out. But you have to pay for them too. That's another thing to think about.
Mm-hmm.
I don't feel like paying for anything.
Yeah.
But
Well,
Tiger?
no, I just said, well, whatever. So I don't know where I was
Well,
going with that. I really
moving
don't
on
know where I was
to
going with that.
yeah, moving on to new news though. There's been a lot of things happening this past week. There's been the NBA Finals. There's been the debates. There've been some weird Corona cases. There's
My
been
gosh.
yeah, there's been a lot that's been happening. So let's talk about we're talking about something light right now. The NBA Finals. Okay, so the NBA Finals is gonna be Miami Heat versus the Lakers, right? And of course, a lot of people are rooting for the Lakers because it's LeBron. It's I think it's Anthony Towns, something like that. No,
Sure.
Anthony Davis, Anthony Davis, Anthony Towns. What the heck? I combined two players' names right there because there's one player named Carl Anthony Towns, and there's another one named Anthony Davis. So, no,
My
Anthony
God.
Davis, LeBron on the Lakers. So like, oh, they're gonna get destroyed. And the Miami Heat, they have like Jimmy Butler and a couple other people. Listen, I'm rooting for the Heat because I
If
feel like
only
they're
I
the
knew what you were
underdogs.
talking about.
We have to have the sports corner for a second, you know. I feel like they're the underdogs. I don't think they've been in the finals for like at least like 6 years, 5 years or something. I'm not seeing them in the finals for a while, right?
Yeah.
So I'm very excited to see how this thing ends. The Lakers so far won the first two games. Tonight, because we're recording this on Sundays now, tonight I'm supposed to be going to my friend's house to watch the next game. So I hope the Heat wins, you know. Cause like they're a good team. They need to bring like one trophy back home. You know, it's like come on now.
I think that it's gonna be the New York Yankees that win.
Oh my gosh, Thomas.
So
Well,
we're
let's
gonna
talk
see.
about let's.
It's gonna be the New York Yankees versus the New Jersey Devils. With a surprise interference from the Patriots. Yeah. Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Well, let's talk about something that Tommy. When I say Tommy, something that Thomas actually knows about. Let's talk about the debate that was about what has to be like 6 days ago now, right?
Between as we've heard them been called, but it is between sleepy Joe Biden and crazy President Trump.
What I
This is
say
funny.
it's the ignorant versus the forgetful. That's why I like to say the ignorant
Ignorant
versus the
versus
forgetful.
I want to say it's the ignorant versus forgetful because that was like it was pretty much like it. I thought it was funny. I thought the debate was just hilarious because both of them were just like, what is it? Like I felt like you ever see like what is it? You ever like play a game where like what is it? There's like that one kid that like always goes, he did it, he did it. Like he's accusing everyone and like but like half the time he's never correct.
What happened?
I feel like did you not hear what I just said, Josh?
I'll be honest. I zoned out for like the last 5 seconds.
I
And then,
hate you so much.
and then I just heard something about he accuses people. I was like, huh? What happened?
No, what is it? Yeah, okay, so you ever play a game? So Josh,
Yeah, I'm here.
okay, so have you ever played a game where like there's like one kid or someone like that just like keeps on accusing someone like that they did something, even though like what is it? Have you played like Among Us?
Yeah, I played Among Us a couple of times.
So have you ever like played with like a kid that is always like, oh, he did it, he did it, he did it,
That
like to
I'm
just like
that
one
kid.
guy
I'm that kid.
to like one guy
I'm
that
that
like
kid.
never did it.
I'm that kid.
I feel
I'm the
like
kid that touches the button to
I
like just
feel
say vote pink out.
I feel like that's Trump because he's like half the time he's just like straight up like just like it's like, oh, okay, Biden. It's like, okay, yeah, sure. You keep on saying it. You keep on saying it. Say it again. Say that again. And
Listen, that
Trump was just going at it, and then Biden, that was funny because Biden's just like trying to throw dirt on Trump, and the stuff like what is it like one of the big things he said, and I thought this was like a moment where like Trump kind of like saved himself. It was like was they were talking about the military thing, and um Biden said, you made fun of he goes, I can't believe you would make fun of the military, calling them, he called them like worthless or stupid or something like that. And that, of course, that was all fake. Let's be honest, that was all fake, and the media reported on it like it was a true statement, even though that was just someone that made it up, trying
I'm
to
not gonna give my
look good.
opinions on it. But what do you call it? What
Josh,
I
wait,
feel like
wait, wait,
Biden. Hold on, wait. I feel like Biden isn't a good speaker. You know what I mean? Like you know how in public speaking they teach you the this and that. Oh, speak like this, blah blah blah. But when you're debating, right?
mhm.
You're supposed to be making sure you're speaking loud and speaking over the other person. You know, the other person tries to butt in, and you're speaking louder than them, and you're talking faster and just displaying your emotions better than everything, and that like shuts the other person down. And I'll tell you, that's what Donald Trump is good at because he's a businessman. You know, there's probably been plenty of times in his career where he had to like argue with other businessmen about, oh, this is the right thing to do. Biden, on the other hand, he just isn't a good speaker in the way that you can sit there and overspeak somebody else who's talking, you know? When someone else is talking, he doesn't like to talk. You
Yeah.
know, and that's why you see like the whole debate, Donald Trump's talking a lot and interjecting. And that's probably one of the reasons why Donald Trump is interjecting, because he knows if he interjects in between Biden's point, Biden's just gonna be exhausted and be like, I'm not talking. There's even one point in the debate. There was a clip online that was kind of funny when Donald Trump interjected, and Biden's like, "Yo, will you just shut up, man?" Like,
Bruh. Yeah, what is it? No, but going back to what I was saying, because this is like I'm gonna say this was funny because so like I was saying, so Biden was bringing up all that stuff, because of he's trying to say it as if it's a fact, even though it's allegedly. He goes, you said, even though it's all allegedly, which I kind of find ironic because if you look at one of Biden's past speeches, he straight up said, like, what is it when it was first coming out that Trump allegedly, and I say that in quotes, allegedly, uh, what is it, made fun of the military. He goes, Trump allegedly made fun of the military, and Biden even like chose his words carefully, even said allegedly in that, which I actually give him a kind of a little bit of respect for, because he could have straight up just like dug Trump into a hole with his supporters, and basically said that like, yo, look what this guy did. But no, he like actually did say allegedly, so I give him I give him a little bit of respect for that. I can, but like in the debate, he just kind of like threw that right out the window. It was like, no, you said this. And the way Trump responded, I was waiting for Trump just to deny it, but Trump did something that I felt was like really good to the moment, because Trump waited a second, didn't like, because Josh, you saw it throughout the entire debate. It was
no, I
Trump.
didn't. I was asleep
No,
the first half.
but you know what I mean. It was Trump, just like if Biden made an accusation, Trump would have went, nope, that's not true, nope. But Trump waited, and you could tell that he waited for a specific reason, because Biden.
Character progression.
Yeah, because Biden, what he did was Biden straight up. Then he started talking about the military, and he started talking about how, his what is it? Because Biden has two sons, right? I think he has two sons, and he was talking about how, what is it? How the one was in the military, and what is it? Because now I gotta look this up for a second. What is it? Biden, yeah, because he has, what is it? Yeah, because what is it? He has. I'm so confused. I think it was. Oh, does he only have one son? I have no idea. But he was talking about how, what is it? How his son was in the military and how he started in the military. And then Trump straight up, as he says, served in the military, served proudly in the military. Trump goes, talk about Hunter. And, Biden kind of like breezed over it. Trump goes, so you talk about Hunter? The kid, what is it? He goes, talk about Hunter, the kid that got dishonorably discharged from the military for drug abuse. Yeah, that son, the son that you employed into the White House during the Obama administration, the one that did the shady stuff with the Ukraine. Is that the guy? Is that the one you're talking about? And I was like, oh, okay. It's like, okay. I was like, Trump played his cards right. It's like, yeah. It's like Trump could have denied that and dug himself deeper into I call it like the Democratic hole, because there's like I find that like when candidates like dig dirt on their opponent, I call it like they dig themselves into their respective holes. So like Biden, when making like if Biden says something bad about Trump, he digs Trump into the Democratic hole, and if Trump says something back, he digs Biden into the Republican hole. So what I felt was really kind of cool was how Biden was like digging him into a hole and was like was digging the Democratic hole, was like, yeah, you're going down, and then Trump just kind of like 180 flipped that and was just like, oh yeah, it's like, should I remind you about your son, the one that was dishonorably discharged, and just kind of threw Biden into like that hole. Was like, oh yeah, did you forget about that, buddy? And I was like, okay, guess. I was like, oh man, that was pretty good. Mm.
Well, listen, I'm not, what do you call it, on the podcast. I'm not a support of like either. I'm not in support of. Okay, listen. I'm not in total support of either candidate, right? I believe both of them make some good points at sometimes, and both of them are extremely stupid at sometimes. Both of them have their own problems. One's forgetful, like I said, the ignorant versus the forgetful, But I don't want to take any sides on the podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I want to be able to talk. I want to talk about like everyone. You know what I mean? I want to talk about Biden. I also want to talk about Trump. I want to talk like this. I want to be like, how they have the podcasts or the videos where they're just making fun of everything. Like that,
Yeah.
like they don't even care. They just make fun of everything.
Yeah.
And that's
You
what.
want
That's
that
what I
to
was.
be?
That's
Yeah.
what.
I found, what is that? I don't know, Josh, if you saw this too, but just the way Trump just but like as I was saying before, like when Trump was like interjecting, he interjected at any point he got, and it was just funny because Biden, like you were saying, Biden just kind of stayed silent, and Trump's just like going, no, 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 no. I'm like, oh my gosh. Sometimes I'm just like, Donnie, just shut up. Do yourself a favor, shut up. It's like, yeah,
Yeah.
we know, just shh.
The debate was really interesting, and then they had so after the debate, they had the political ads from Joe Biden and Donald Trump. And Joe Biden specifically had the ones about coronavirus and about how Donald Trump was like downplaying it or something, right? And
Yeah,
then after the news of Donald Trump getting coronavirus came out, I don't think they pulled down the ads instantly. But then later that night, when they got the news that Donald Trump actually went to the hospital or something like that, they finally pulled down the ads, and then everybody was like, "Oh, we're praying for his safety," blah blah blah. It's crazy that when he received coronavirus, when he told the world he had coronavirus, there was like 5 other people who got it too. They had Chris Christie got it.
well,
There was a lot of people in this inner circle.
you also have to look at, what is it, Christie did, I don't know when he got it, but when I think it was because he was near Trump when Trump checked
Well,
himself into
wasn't
the
he
hospital.
prepping Trump
I
for
think,
the debate?
yeah, he was helping Trump right, was it before, and then I think Christie kind of checked. I think Christie checked himself into the hospital just to make sure, like just to take precaution. I'm like, okay.
Listen, bro.
I was like, okay. It's like, don't you think you're going a little overboard? I get Trump checked himself in the hospital. I would, if it was me, it's like, if it was me, if I was in Christie's position, I'd be like, I'm not going to the hospital. It's like, I'll just stay home and get it. Okay, I'll get a test, but like, I'm not going to go to the hospital. It's like I get like why Trump went, because Trump was facing mild symptoms, but I don't even know what symptoms Christie had to begin with. I think he just kind of went to the hospital out of precaution, just because he's like, yeah, I was around this guy. And I was like, oh, okay, guess that's a qualification now. but whatever.
What do you call it though? What do you feel about Donald Trump? Obviously, me, I'm a nice person. I'm not mean. I'm not. What I don't believe is that there's people who are famous, and even if you don't like the person, like even, I can get why you don't like Donald Trump. I'm not a big fan of him either. I'm gonna be honest with you. I can get why you don't like Donald Trump. I can get why you don't like these other celebrities. But when they're in distress or like they're literally about like they might die, I don't like going on my social media and people like rooting for him like, oh, you should die, die, die. It's like no, that's so disrespectful and mean. There's no reason to say that.
You know,
You know what I mean?
I'm like,
Like,
I agree. I'm like, bruh, it's like, okay, that's why I actually got, like, that's why when Obama made his message, because he's like, he goes as much, I think I think he went on, he was like, just, hoping for the president to get healthy and stuff like that. I'm like, you know what? Hey, I'm like, you know what? That was a good move. You're like, you got to show people that that no matter what political side you are on, we're all human beings, and that's what I really liked about what Obama said. And I'm not the biggest fan of Obama, and I was like, okay, yeah, that was pretty good. It's like, because he got down to the main point, which was we are all human beings. We should be treating each other like human beings. Don't treat. It's like he is in a bad position. It's like let us. I hope that he gets better, and I hope that we can all hope. And I was like, you know what? Hey, I was like, hey, good for you, man. Good. This is really good that someone at least could tell like your party. It's like, hey, you guys are not doing the correct thing. It's like you guys we need to give him a support because though in your eyes he might be considered the enemy or he might be considered not that good of a person or as an opponent, like in Biden and Harris's case, he's considered the opponent. He's still a human being, and we all need to act like human beings and basically be like, "Yo, get better."
yeah, definitely. What I feel like is that a lot of people, right? They feel okay. So let's talk about this, right? So you won't know about this, but Tekashi 6ix9ine, he just got out of jail, blah blah blah. Right? He just released his album, flopped. But anyways, recently it came out that he OD'd on these he didn't die though. He was just in the hospital, but he OD'd on I think it was fat loser pills or whatever the pills that help you lose weight, right? He OD'd on those. He was supposed to take one a day, but he took two, something like that. And like Twitter blew up, and everybody was like, "Oh, I want him to die. He should die." Da 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 da. And at first I was like, "Yo, that's messed up. You don't wish for anybody else's death. That's just messed up. You shouldn't do that in any case. I don't care who it is, right?" And then like for me, I'm still keeping my standpoint. You shouldn't wish for anybody's death. I don't care who it is. Like, that's not your choice. That's not who you are. I can understand what the other people were saying because Tekashi 6ix9ine all throughout his career he was mocking a bunch of people's deaths. Like he would go to a bad part of Chicago or a bad part of here and like laugh on somebody's grave or some crap. Like that's literally what his whole character was. So I can get like some people from that area being like, "Oh, I would rather see him die because he mocked this person's brother. That was like that was my best friend." I can get why people saying that, but still, I don't think you should wish anybody's death under any circumstances. Under any circumstances, you know.
Yeah, I entirely agree. Didn't that guy? Cause I was listening to something, and I don't know where I heard it, but apparently, isn't he like what is it? I can't think the word. Didn't he? Wasn't he like real? Isn't he like really messed up and like? Please, what is it? I could be completely wrong. Didn't he like? What is it like? Talk like be like inappropriate towards like women, like younger women.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
Basically, when it was either 18 or 19. I think it was 19. When he was 19, he had a case for basically he was making a music video or some type of video, but there was this underage girl who was, I think, 13 or I was either 13 towards 15, one or the other, 13, 14, and 15. So making a video, apparently what he said, the girl told him that she was 18, right? And he didn't do anything with the girl, but his friend did something with the girl, and they also recorded the girl in like a provocative manner. It wasn't like
Yeah.
any tapes or anything like that, but they recorded the girl in a provocative manner. His friend did stuff with the girl, but him himself didn't do anything with the girl. Right, so
Uh,
they went to the court case, whatever. Takashi like told him about whatever happened. I think they put him on probation or something like that, and people still bring that up to this day, and I can get why people bring that up to this day because I don't. Because how can you not tell a 13-year-old or a 14-year-old's not 18? You know
yeah.
what I mean? Because
What?
like a couple years ago, when I looked at myself when I was like 14, I looked in the mirror. And I was like, yo, I look like I'm 18 or something like that. But now when I look at myself in the mirror, I'm like, how did I think 3 years ago that I looked 18? 3 years ago, I looked like a child. You know?
Yeah.
That's what I think. You know?
I think that what is it when it comes to that, I'm like, what are you doing, man? And when because okay, now I remember was I was listening to someone talk about this because they were complaining about like why Logan Paul and like all these other people were like having him like like showing him like on a podcast or something. Like they had him on, and it's like why? It's like you're giving press to someone who's a sick man, like just like this sick man. I'm like, it's like after hearing something like that, I'm like, bro, come on. It's like I'm like, that's just wrong. It's like you shouldn't be doing this stuff. You know, as much as I want to say like, it's like I am not a big fan of people that are that like that's what I'm not a big fan of the rappers, especially the ones that like that are just terrible people in general. Like I'm not a big fan of people
There's a
that
lot of rappers who are terrible people.
bro. I don't honestly. I just think if you're just a rude person, if you're doing a bunch of drugs, if you do things that like a bunch of
I
things
don't
that are
wait. I don't
illegal,
think the drug.
that's
I don't
like
think the drug thing make you a terrible person. Like
I'm
there's a
not.
bunch of drug addicts out there, and I think
But
the music industry. I feel a lot of people who go into the music industry and they're not drug addicts or they don't do any drugs, or maybe like they smoked once like one time in their life or some crap.
see,
If they're going
yeah,
into the music industry, there's gonna be a lot more stuff available to them. And it's gonna like pull them into that life. You know, there's been so many artists and celebrities coming out saying, "Oh, I wasn't like this before I got the fame. I wasn't like this. I wasn't an addict," or stuff like that. Like Juice WRLD, he always talked about his addiction, but it got really bad when he became famous. You know,
yeah,
people talk about how they were around him and he was just like fall asleep. You know, he just wasn't there. You weren't even able to have a conversation with him. You know,
yeah. What is
for
it?
some people the fame isn't good.
Unlike, my problem with the rappers it's just like, it's like, okay, I can understand, like, maybe pot and stuff like that, but like cocaine, it's like, come on, man. It's like, really, it's like, especially like when you're famous, it's like, you don't have like the decent, it's like, you don't have the common decency to like, just to like, not do this stuff. I'm like, that's why it's like, especially when it comes to that, that's why I'm like, we're all human beings and people have breaking points. I feel like that's like a given. We all have breaking points. And when it comes to like drugs and such, that's like one of those things where it's like everyone has a breaking point, and just like we don't know where where the breaking point is, but we know that there is a point where someone will just flat out break. And when it comes to, like the rappers, I feel like a lot of rappers, that's like it doesn't take that long for them just to go, okay, let's do this, and
But
then they lose
what,
control.
what do you call it? What I will say is that it's not just rap. It's definitely like a lot of people. It's
Oh
rappers,
yeah.
pop
Oh my gosh.
artists, metal people, rock
No,
music,
no, no,
but
no, no.
also
It's not just people in music. It's Hollywood actors too. Look at people like what is it? I
yeah.
believe like Johnny Depp did cocaine and stuff like that. People, it's
But
when you have money, you do things.
what I will say is that people who get into rap are mostly people who are in like who family didn't make any money, who couldn't grow up a normal life because the mom didn't work like a McDonald's or something like that, and she couldn't get a job somewhere else, or like their family just not bringing in enough income for them to move out this low income area, you know. So
Mhm.
they're outside, they're doing this and that, and it graduates to like a whole thing. But if you're in an area like a low income area like that, like the bad parts of Chicago or something like that, you're gonna be introduced to drugs probably at a lump. You might be introduced to drugs by your parents. You
Yeah.
know, you can get introduced to drugs by anything. You walk outside, there's gonna be some point in your life where one of your friends is gonna be the weed smoking friend, or one of your friends is gonna be doing this and that. You
The
know,
weed.
and I would even say I would
The way you said that, Josh, it's like
yeah.
it's like, oh, it's the weed smoking friend. It's like I could just like see someone go into the neighborhood. It's like, okay, welcome to the neighborhood. It's like, oh, that's Timmy. That's Timmy. He's the taxi driver. Oh, that's Billy. That's Billy. He's the homework guy. A lot of people like to ask him for help on homework. Oh, who's that? Oh, that's Jeffrey. Yeah, he's the drug person. You need anything, go to him.
But I'm telling you, it's true. There's so many stories online, like of these rap people talking about how they grew up and stuff. They're like, oh yeah, this friend was the first one to smoke weed, you know, like he was an outcast at first, but now he was like the cool dude and stuff, right? But what I'm saying is that it's not even necessarily their fault. Like people say this all the time, and people might think it's cliche, but it's like it is the environment you grew up in. Like you compare a kid from Chicago to a kid from let's say to a kid from New Jersey, like the good parts of New Jersey, it's gonna be a major difference, and that's just because it's gonna be different morals, different things taught to the children.
Yeah, but you know what? There's nothing we can really do other than like just the other stuff, paying taxes.
I don't even think paying taxes is good
Oh
at
my
this point. I'm gonna
gosh.
be honest with you, because they don't use that money, right? And they think that if they pump, they like Chicago, they have like one of like the most expensive schools. You know that they pump so much money into the schools, but they don't know how to use the money. Like they're not putting the money into the right area. It's like you're pumping the money into the school. You're giving them a bunch of money, a lot of money each year, and you're paying everybody more. But the teaching isn't getting better. The education isn't getting better. Why is it not making any sense?
Where
Because
you
you're
look
not
at
doing the right thing.
where you look at somewhere like what is it, like New Jersey? Like I know New Jersey, just I noticed, like, what is it? It's the schooling isn't the best because people get laid off all the time, especially because of COVID. How many teachers got laid off just because? I'm not saying for like just like as an like just like per school district. I'm talking about like school as a whole. Like there's just like a bunch of teachers that just got straight up laid off, and there's just budget cuts and stuff like that. Just don't allow you to do as much because every year the budget just gets cut in half.
Mhm.
Plus, then you have to worry about other things like state testing, like and. I don't agree with standardized testing at all. Standardized testing is not the right way that we should be doing schooling. Because all standardized testing teaches you is how to retain information just for a short amount of time and then forget about it.
Yeah, but I definitely think there's a crisis going on in America with schooling, right?
Yeah.
Because how can there be like our school? Our school does not get that much money, but we do get a lot of donations and crap, some stupid donations sometimes, but we don't get that much money because they're always cutting budgets and stuff like that. But how can our school be like one of the best in the state if our school isn't making that much money, but a school in Chicago or something like that is getting a lot of money, but being like one of the worst in the state. You know, like when I
Yeah.
grow up and like when I have a good amount of money and doing my own thing, having business and stuff like that. I definitely want to look into the education stuff and try to fix it and see like, okay, so where does the problem lie on? You know, like I know the communities may not be the best communities, but there's also a lot of stories about how if you're inside this community, it's like a big family. You know, if you say you wanna focus on your school, everybody will make sure you focus on your school. They're not gonna force you into anything. You know, there's a lot of stories about that. Like people like the main actor of Blackish, I forgot his name, but I really
Anthony
like that
Anderson.
show. Yeah, Anthony Anderson. He's talking about how he grew up in Compton and he always wanted to be an actor since he was a kid. And it was never any backlash from the people in Compton. They said, okay, let's help you get there. You know, and a lot of these communities they're trying to help the person get to where they want to be. So what's the problem with the school. Why is the education not all day? Well, why is it like this? And I definitely want to figure that out in the future because that makes no sense at all. The politicians say, "Oh, I want to fix this, I want to fix that." They're just saying a bunch of crap so they can get elected. That's about it.
Which reminds me,
You know,
Josh. Sykes Duran, 2052.
2052, yeah.
Yeah, somewhere around that date. we're gonna make America big, great, beautiful. I think we got everything.
Yeah.
We're gonna be the ones going, America, and all that stuff. Yeah, America, America, land of the free, home of the brave. Let's elect us, because honestly, we're still better than Biden and Trump. Honestly, that's our thing. What is it? That's gonna be our thing when I become president, you become vice president. It's like, hey, we're better than Trump, and we're better than Biden. Anyways,
this is probably true.
Yeah. Anyways, what do we have next? I don't even know how much time we have. I like turn off my phone like midway through, and I'm like, wait, why did I do that? Oh wow, we're 34 minutes in. That's good. What else has there been? Because I think we pretty much like caught up. What else? Oh,
we did.
Ruth Bader Ginsburg. Rest in peace. Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Oh yeah.
Bro, I was like, oh my gosh, she died. I'm like, you know what? I was surprised because I'm pretty sure she was like one of the oldest oldest female judges or oldest judge, I think. But like, rest in peace, because she was an amazing person. She got what was it? She boosted people. Was it? I actually don't know much of what she did. All I know is that like she did a lot of good. And now we have President Trump already nominated the next Supreme Court judge to take Ruth Bader Ginsburg's place. Who? And I'm pretty sure, and I know this because I saw this. I saw this on last week's Night with John Oliver, and he was talking about how this woman, she's a conservative. So of course Trump picked her. I think she's religious. She's like really religious. She's a mother. Toughest job in the world. She's got the toughest job in the world. She's a mother. No. But what is it? I'm pretty sure she's also against abortion. And I think that's one of the big things that people are like, whoa, she's going to set back like all these movements like 100 years.
But she's only one person.
Yeah. Well,
listen, for me,
have you looked at the votes recently? Because a lot of Supreme Court votes are coming down to like one difference. I feel how many of like I wonder like what's the separation? Like how many are Democratic, how many are Republican? Because I want to see that. Hold on. How many people in the Supreme Court are Republican and how many are Democrats? Let's see. How many Supreme Court justices are Republican? So there are 9 justices. 5 were appointed by Republican presidents. 3 were appointed by Democratic presidents. And there's 1 vacancy. Oh my gosh. Okay. Did I say Supreme Court? Am I thinking of the right one? Yeah. I don't know why I thought Senate for like a good second. I was like, am I talking about the Senate? So nearly 2/3 of Americans said the Supreme Court is the right. Okay, so the smaller majority viewed the Supreme Court as middle of the road rather than liberal conservative. 66 Republicans were. Oh my gosh, why does no one say like just how many of them? Who's a Democrat? Who's a Republican? Oh my gosh. They say what presidents they were appointed by. Oh my gosh. This is why I don't. No, this doesn't make any. This is why I don't like any of this. Okay. So.
Oh! You know what we should talk about?
What?
About what happened at Matt's house with the lady.
Oh my God. Okay, so wait, so here's what we got. So as of right now, it looks like that it sounds like 5 of them are Republicans and 3 of them are Democrats. And there's one vacant. Wait, 5. Yeah, that's okay, yeah. So and I think because I'm pretty sure Ruth Bader Ginsburg, she was a Democrat. So she was appointed by a Democrat. I don't know. See, they say what presidents they were appointed by. I guess what is it? You know what? I wonder. I honestly would think that is probably correct, but I guess that what is it when it comes to the Supreme Court that like they probably to like remain neutral, like they're probably like independent, or like or whoever like they're put in by is the like you get what I mean by like whoever they're put in by is the person that is like what party they are. But anyways, I wanted to say this. But apparently, so Trump's trying to put her in, and Trump's like, "Yo, let's get this woman in." It's like, "Yeah, we can do this," and like people are like, "Wait, hold on." It's like, um, Obama tried doing this during his term. It was like towards the end of his term, and he tried putting in new justice, and it was like Mitch McConnell. I was like, "No, no, no, you can't do this. No, 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 you can't do this." And like Trump, who has even less time, McConnell's like, yeah, let's get her in, let's get her in. People are like, oh my gosh, I can't believe he's doing this. I'm like, what do you mean you can't believe it? That makes sense. I'm sorry, but like, it's like okay, I can completely understand why he's doing it. I didn't say it was like I'm not gonna say that if it's right or wrong, but it makes sense. People are like, it doesn't make any sense. It's like, why would he do something like that? It's like because McConnell's a Republican. McConnell wants a Republican in. And if Obama put one in, then it would have been a Democrat. Where if he gets or if Trump elects someone in, then we know it's a Republican. Easy.
Yeah.
But we'll just see what happens.
Well,
Anyways,
let's talk about what happened at Matt's house. 'Cause I want to talk about this.
okay.
So you guys wouldn't know. Of course, you guys wouldn't know. You're not there. So me and a couple of friends went over to my friend's Matt's house, right? So I asked my friend
Follow
Andrew.
what is it? We follow COVID rules. I want to say that so that we
Yeah,
don't
we
get
did. We did.
sued in like
We all
three
tested for
years from
COVID
now.
before that. Don't worry. We wore masks and everything. Don't worry. Don't worry. All right. So I asked my friend Andrew. I was like, "Yo, can you drive me to Wawa? Because I don't have my license yet." He's like, "Yeah, I'll drive you to Wawa." So we get in the car. We're pulling out of the driveway. So we're looking both directions. I'm telling you, neither one of us saw a car. No car there at all. We didn't see anything. So we start turning onto the road, right? And we're like halfway onto the second part of the road, where we just see this lady with like the most frightened face about to hit us, just like by
Wait, hold
about
on.
to hit
What
the
kind of
back of our
face?
car,
Wait, what kind of
like the
face
most
is she?
fright. She looks like a dramatic girl. Like she was like freaking having. She was like eyes wide open, mouth like she was screaming or some crap. She was dramatic. Uh,
Oh my
but
gosh.
but my friend Andrew, this kid is the fastest turner I've seen in my life. So before she hits him, he's already on the other side of the road, right? And then we lock eye contact with the lady. And listen, I am that kid who, when something crazy happens, I just can't believe it afterwards, and I just start laughing because I'm the kid. I'm like, yo,
So
I start laughing. I'm like, yo,
you
that's
laughed.
crazy. Yeah, we locked eye contact, and I just started laughing. And then my friend floored it down the road. I was like, wait, why did he floor it down the road for? And we look behind us, the lady's still there. And my friend asked me, he's like, yo, did I hit her? I was like, no, you didn't hit her. I didn't even feel anything. And then we reached the stop sign. We look behind us again. She's still stopped over there. We're like, no, we didn't hit
Okay.
her. What the heck? So we turn around, and we were about to turn around when Thomas calls us and tells us about how the lady was like beeping a horn, and she came out and started yelling at them, right?
Hold on,
So,
wait. Hold on, let me explain because this is gonna make it better. So I'm what is it? So I pull. So what is it? So I'm sitting in the So I'm sitting in the driveway, and the lady's just going on, and um, what is it? So the lady goes on and on about all this stuff. And now I have my phone connected now because my car is like the Bluetooth thing. I was playing music like that, so I pause it, and the woman's like, "Does this guy live here? Does that guy live here?" And I'm like, I'm reenacting the voice just for effect. And I'm like, no, he doesn't live here. I was trying to be nice. I'm like, no, he doesn't live here. And she was like, who gave that ever a license? I'm trying not to get her thing explicit. Who gave that guy a license? And she's kept on saying the F word so many different times. And then there's this other, what is it, Josh? I was gonna make a joke. I was gonna say she's a white woman. She's a social justice warrior.
Oh my.
But
But
no,
what do you call it?
but no. But then this other guy. But there's this other guy. I don't know how old he was. I couldn't tell. But what is it? Because the woman looked older. But like this guy, let me describe. Because what is it? Because it was the white lady that got out of the car. Then you had this black guy. And I was just like, he didn't look like he looked like he was like I want to say 18.
Colin said that was her husband.
That was her husband? Because
Colin said he looked like her husband.
because he did not look like that, and he didn't seem angry at all. Like she
Yeah, that's what Colin was talking
she
about.
lost it, and he's like looking around and stuff like that, and I'm like, okay.
Listen, bro, I don't know why I
She's like,
laughed.
who gave that guy a license? And she like left, and that's when like I called up Andrew, and like.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's what we were like halfway down the road when you called us.
When you guys answer, as soon as you guys answered, I was, what is it? Because I clicked the call. I started to leave I pulled out of the driveway. I started driving. You guys answer, and I was like, what just happened? And all I hear, it's like you guys like it was so muffled. My car speakers were like dying. I thought like my car speakers were broken. You guys were like,
laughing so hard.
I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, bro, what did you?
That's not how we laugh, by the way.
Bro, and I didn't even know what happened. That's the thing, because I was right behind them because I was pulling out, and I didn't see at all what happened. But like, and I could tell, like, it's very hard to see when coming out of his driveway because the way it is.
There's a hill right next to his freaking driveway.
There's a wall. There's a literal wall right there as you're pulling out.
But the hill's right next to the wall too, so
and you can
barely
see anything.
The car coming over the hill, and you can't really see past the wall. I don't know why. What kind of idiot freaking put that hill there? I mean, you can't put a hill somewhere, but who puts the fence there, man?
I still think that wall. I still think like the wall should have been like further back. Like that wall. That's dangerous. What am I like? What are you talking about? Like.
Anyways, when I was on my way back, when we came back from Wawa, right? So me and Andrew about to pull into the driveway, and Andrew was like, "Yo, I can already tell they're gonna give me so much crap for this, bro. You gotta have my back. You gotta tell them what happened." I was like, "Yeah, I'll tell him. Don't worry, I'll tell him." So we pull in, and Thomas is always walking. It's always not this Thomas, another Thomas. He's already walking towards us.
No, Thomas.
He's laughing.
Thomas George, remember, guys, he was on the podcast a while ago.
Yeah, Thomas George. He's already laughing your crap, right? So we get out of the car, and so we're talking with them, and this is what Colin said what happened, right? So they heard us floor it down the road, and they looked, and they saw the car there, so they assumed something just happened. And apparently, what they said, the lady was like blaring on her horn for like a whole minute straight.
I didn't even hear the horn. Oh my! What was I, deaf for like a second? Like, cause I like did not hear that lady's horn.
And then they said that she got out of the car, right? And then they said what you said, right? And then they said before she got in the car, right? She said that dude's an effing a-hole, and my friend Colin said back, he said, "So are you." And she goes around the car, just gets back in the car and leaves.
Wait,
I
she
was
did.
just
Wait,
dying.
I didn't even hear him say that. That's the best part.
Yeah, and Colin was like, her husband was with her. I think he was just amused. He was just looking around at everything. I was like, that was so crazy, bro. That lady was such a kid. She's so freaking dramatic. Me and Andrew was laughing the whole way to Wawa, and like we were getting angry too because he was like, that lady's so freaking dramatic. Why is she still parked there? We didn't hit her. Like we didn't hit you. Just go on your way. I can just understand stopping for a second and because you're shocked and then starting to drive again. But you're getting there, you're stopping there, you see the kids in the driveway, so you're like, okay, let me get out of my car and start yelling at the kids. Like, screw off, lady. Like, go down the road. Like, you know for a fact that we did not see you, and that what most likely happened is that we started turning, and you saw us started turning, so you decided to speed down the road so
You
that you can
know,
beat us.
what is
That's
it?
probably what happened.
Luckily, what is it? Because you said Andrew, right? So Andrew didn't live there, and so when the ladies like should have asked me like, "Does this guy live here?" I'm like, if I had said yes, you know what would have happened, right?
She would
She
have went
would
to the
have.
door and started knocking for the parents.
Oh my gosh, not just that. She probably would have like called. I'm surprised that like she didn't call the police or anything. Like that would have been like the way she was
Man, what was
freaking
she
out.
gonna call the police on? I
Bruh,
would love for her to call the
are
police.
you,
What's she gonna do? Come
bro?
on now.
Literally, she probably honestly, I feel like she's the type of person who would like call the police, be like, look, they're having a COVID party. It's like, look, all these kids are
It's not a
here.
COVID party. It's less than five, 6 people.
She honestly, Josh, have you seen people today? People lie about everything. So
Yeah, but what do you call it though? I would have loved for that lady. I wanted Andrew to stop because if that lady started yelling at me, I would have yelled right back at her. I was like, "Yo, screw off, man. We did not hit you. Most likely, you're the reason why you even freaking were over here. Like, cause there's no way she wasn't speeding down that road. No way, cause we would have saw her. We would have saw her at least because Andrew could see up to the truck,
was how do you not see a
which is like
big
I'm
blue
not
car? I'm sorry.
exactly. It's
I'm like,
blue
how do you
too. It's
not see
blue.
that?
It's like nah. This snows like screw off, lady. Don't like. Come on now. Don't try this today. Like I deal with people all the time, but I do not want to deal. I don't like dealing with people who are ignorant. I don't like dealing with people who just like to scream and be dramatic. It's like no, stop being dramatic. It's not that much of a deal. Get on with your life. For goodness sakes. You
Mm-hmm.
didn't get hit by a car, and most likely, if that was an accident, you would have hit us, and you would have hit us in the back of the car, which would have shown that we were already halfway on the other side of the road. Which would have meant if you called the police, they would have said that it would have been your fault, and then you would have gotten in trouble. So don't try to come to us and be like, oh, I'm gonna scream at them, I'm gonna call them a-holes, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It's like get in your car and leave. Come on, stop being dramatic, Karen.
That was great. What is it? I remember what is it? But I was headed over to my grandmother's house because what is it? My parents had just what is it? My mom had just bought dinner, and I went over there to go eat because they bought me something. Because I was gonna be with my friends. Like I was gonna be with you guys for like just a couple minutes, but oh my gosh! So I get there. I call up Thomas George. I'm sitting in my grandmother's driveway. I'm calling him up, and he's just like, oh my gosh, I don't know what happened. I'm like, Thomas, what happened? Goes that lady almost hit Andrew. I'm like, oh. He goes, are you near anyone? I'm like, no. He goes, okay. He goes, that lady I don't know what that lady was doing, but I don't know who was right. I don't know if it was Andrew that was in the right or if it was the lady that was in the right, but I don't know who it was. But right now, that I think it's the lady, and that lady was like crazy. Like she needed to calm down. I'm like, okay. I'm like, yeah, I agree. Except he used, except
A
he
lot of
didn't use the exact
profanity.
words that I said.
Yeah, but that was the interesting moment of the day, and like there was so many moments afterwards that we were just in so much shock. Like, oh my
I'm
gosh,
just
yo.
like, oh my gosh.
Andrew was getting increasingly mad in the car over that lady. Like at first he was like, "Yo, did I hit her?" And by the end of the car ride, he was like, "Yo, F that lady, bro." She's like, "Come on now." It was the funniest crap, man.
That's funny.
But yeah, I'm the type of person when like something crazy just happens afterwards, I just have to laugh. Cause like
Now,
I'm the person that laughs all the time. I just laugh. I like to have fun.
I thought that was
And that's
absolutely hilarious. Just how funny that was. Just like how that happened.
I think I might have been. I think me and Andrew might have been the reason why she got out of the car because when she locked eyes, I just started dying laughing, and then Andrew just floored it. I don't even know why Andrew floored it, but he floored it down the road.
I'm
And
sorry, but I gotta
that
say this to both. I gotta say this to both of you. But why did you have to laugh?
contagious.
You put me in the position where I had to clean up the mess, where I had to be the guy that had to go no. Where I just kind like because the lady wasn't moving, and I thought it was his parents that just stopped. That's why like I thought they were like stopped to get into the driveway, and I was gonna like pull out. But like no, when the lady got out, I'm like, okay, that's not his mom. It's like yeah, that's not his mom. So like I'm just like sitting there like what do I do? It's like do I go around? It's like I could go it's like I was going to go when I first saw them, I was just gonna go around. That way like if they were gonna pull into the driveway, like because I originally thought it was his parents, so I was gonna originally just like pull out of the driveway and just be like, okay, yeah, let them come through. It's like, yeah, it's like sorry about that, like come through. But when she opened the door, I wanted to like I was like I really wanted just to take off, and I was just gonna take off, like not because I didn't want to have to worry about it, but like at the same time, I'm like, okay. It's like Thomas, let's look at this situation. I was like, if you take off right now, do you think is this just gonna end up worse or is it gonna end up better for you? And I'm like, okay, it's probably just gonna end up worse. And then at the same time, I'm like, okay, well now that we fix that, what's gonna happen if? And I was just like, okay, what's gonna happen if? Sure, we know that it's not gonna get any better, but but if even if I was to try to take off, how do I know I'm not just gonna damage her car? Because the way her car was damaged, like not damaged. The way her car was, it was like because the road is so small, it's like, and plus she had her door open, so it's like I can't even get through. I'm like. I probably couldn't even get through, and she probably just like jump in front of the car, trying to get me to stop anyway, right?
Maybe. I mean, she
Yeah,
does seem like that type of lady, Karen,
yeah.
for sure.
Of course, I probably could have just like turned my blinker on the other way and just gone the other way. But the thing is, I would not have known where I was going. And what I probably would have done was I probably just like go all the way down, turn, find like a driveway, and just go back the other way.
Listen, bro, I just hate Matt's driveway in freaking. I just hate his driveway. His driveway is the worst driveway I've ever seen in my life. No offense, Matt. I
I don't.
like your house. You're cool. You're a person. I love you. Not love you, but that's weird. But I mess with you or whatever thing. But
I don't. Out
that
of the way you could
driveway
have
is
said,
the worst.
the way you just saved yourself was just like it's like I love you, not really. Yeah, now it's like now it's like take that back.
But that driveway is the worst driveway I've seen in my life. You can't see on the left side of if a car is coming on the left side because that house is like the first house on top of a hill, right? And then they had the concrete wall in front of the freaking driveway. Okay, this sounds like such rich people problems, right? Anyways, they have the concrete driveway in front of the concrete wall in front of the driveway, so that hinders your view also.
Yeah,
So how
I
am I
feel
supposed
like
to turn?
I just think like for a road like that, just like for like it's a nice house. First off, I just say like because they have a gravel rock what is it driveway. Like I'm just like okay guys, here's the address and everything. No, but just like if you guys ever see it, like I have a gravel driveway, but the thing is mine's like very packed down for when you drive on it. It's like okay yeah, where like his, I feel like I'm tearing up like the driveway as I'm leaving. Like just
Hmm.
so and like because like I feel like my car is like sinking in like certain spots because the gravel's like not packed down. It's literal. It's all rocks. But like he did pave part of it, and I feel like if you pave like the whole thing, it's gonna look really nice. It's a lot
Mhm.
of money, but it's gonna look really nice.
Yeah.
Hmm. But anyways. And
Yeah.
anyways, no, but when it comes to something like that, that's just mainly rich people problem. But the main problem that I just want to point out is the lesson for today. The lesson, if you learned anything out of today's podcast, which honestly, if you're still listening this far, I'm praying for you. I think if you
Yeah.
have a driveway and you have a concrete wall right in front of it, just take out the wall. Sorry, no. If you have a concrete or like brick wall that like looks really nice aesthetically, but it goes out to a road that is very, I was about to say pequeña. No, very, very pequeño. No, that's very small. Either move the brick back and extend the driveway just like a little bit, make it like a little bit better, or take out the brick entirely and just like maybe like I don't know, add like a stone line in front of it that like allows you to see still.
Mm-hmm.
That's what you need. It's like okay, rich people problems 101. Let's go.
I mean, it's not even our problems, you know. I'm not rich, that's for sure. Are you rich, Thomas? No.
Josh, you live in New Jersey. That's pretty much a given. We're middle class.
Yeah, exactly.
Middle class. That was all. What is it? We're the middle class. We're the middle class. Wait, was it? We're the middle class boys. Which would have been an alternate name for this podcast, but no. But no. Actually, it probably would have been actually a funny title. Would have gone with our comedy part. We are somewhat a comedy podcast. But anyways, everyone, thank you all for listening. I gotta update the YouTube channel because I haven't done that in a while. Because what is it? Me and Josh have been busy. We've been having a lot of stuff. So we are sorry we haven't done any of that stuff. Well, actually, I'm sorry. I don't know about Josh, but
whoa! I'm sorry too.
But we're gonna try to do this. We're gonna try to still keep our weekly schedule up. So we'll see you guys on Wednesday, and maybe we'll have some more news. But I don't know what we're gonna have news about, but we'll have news. But anyways, thank you all for listening. We will see you guys next time. Remember to listen to our podcast on Spotify. Pretty much, if you can find our podcast on anything, to listen to it. We're on pretty much everything.
Listen to it.
Yeah. Remember, follow us on Instagram and on Twitter at Everything in 30 for updates, especially on Twitter if you want to find us, if you want to get updates on how our podcast is doing or if we're going to be losing an episode or something somewhere. You can find us there. I think that's pretty much it. So we will see. So remember, share the podcast with everyone you know, because that's how this podcast does well. So if more people know, then more listeners. So we will see you all next time for episode something or whatever of Everything in 30 podcast, which will be a half hour. Going back to 30 minutes. See you guys next time. Goodbye.
Deuces.